some groups in campaign donations over other groups. Unions and nonprofits over business. Even though Measure T passed, it was soon thrown out in a summary judgment by the federal court, and now we're left with nothing. That public sentiment is still here today, and apparently those who lined up to pass Measure T and cried all those crocodile tears over undue influences on local elections are now getting in a car and driving 200 miles away to peddle influence to Sacramento lobbyists in order to fund local campaigns for re-election to the county board of supervisors. That person is County Supervisor Bonnie Neely.
Boo!
The proponents of Measure T are silent on this abuse. The quotes from those people back in 2006 ring hollow today. It's legal today to take $1 million to travel 200 miles away to peddle influence to Sacramento lobbyists. It's legal today to do that. Is it right?
No.
Is it moral? Is it the right thing to do?
No.
Do we believe that that's unduly influencing local elections?
Yes. Yes.
Well, let me tell you, we may be helpless to address the moral turpitude and the rampant spending that's going on in the federal level, the campaign abuses that are going on the state level, and the rampant spending, but damn it, we can do something about what's happening in our own Humboldt County.
Yay! Bye-bye, Bonnie! Bye-bye, Bonnie!
Let's take a few steps. There are some legitimate issues that need to be resolved, and I'm going to throw out some ideas here, and I think that if we can get that 75% of local Humboldt County who thinks that we need to do something to agree on some of these details, we can move forward and pass an ordinance for meaningful campaign finance reform in this county. So here it is. I'm suggesting that there be caps on donations. Not a cap on the total amount that can be raised, but caps on individual donations, whether that's coming from a business, a nonprofit, a union, a lobbyist, whatever it is. Now, reasonable people can disagree on how much those are, and it would probably be different if it was a city race versus a county race. But let's come to some consensus about what those numbers are. Is that $2,000 for a county race and $750 for a city race? I don't know. Frankly, Scarlett, I don't care. But let's get together and start resolving these issues. One of the other issues that needs to be resolved is this a cap for candidates and not issues. One of the things we found when we opposed Measure T was there was a whole coalition of folks that normally fight. But on this we can agree. The ACLU, the Green Party, left, right, blue state, red state, we all got together and said this is wrong. So the ACLU said they would support caps for candidates but not issues. Frankly, Scarlett, I don't care. But let's come to grips with what these rules are.
That's what I think of it.
What about stacking donations? Can husband write a check and a wife write a check? Can a business person write a check and their employee write a check? Can a union write a check and a union member write a check? Again, I don't care. Let's come together to resolve these issues so we can put a ordinance together for meaningful campaign finance reform. What about in-kind donations? What about if somebody donates food for an event or an auction item? Again, I don't care. Let's try to resolve what these issues are, put them in an ordinance so that the same rules apply to everybody and they're rules that we can agree on. There should be an escalator clause. We agree to something now. What happens in 5 years if the consumer price index goes up? So whatever we agree on as the caps should be tied to the consumer price index or some other index so that we don't have to revisit this back again and again to change those limits. So in the next few weeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch a website. We'll put the word out there, and we're going to start gathering public opinion. We're going to call a couple of forums and start start talking about these issues. So let's stop fighting on these things that we agree on. I think that the public sentiment that this kind of shameless influence peddling to Sacramento lobbyists for the purpose of raising campaign funds to keep a job. It shouldn't be a job. This is supposed to be service for the people. This is where we start, by drawing the line here. But let's not just get pissed off about this. Let's do something meaningful about this so that we can address campaign finance reform once and for all. Because left to their own devices, this is what happens. We need some sort of control. So there's a lot we disagree on. On this we can agree. Our local democracy is at stake.